Hello, today we're going to be talking about plate boundaries and Earth's land features. If you're not sure what page you're supposed to be working on, please check eChalk or check your planner. There are two parts to today's assignment. First, we're going to go through a PowerPoint that is going to talk about the different types of plate boundaries and show you examples of the different landforms that can form. After the PowerPoint, you will take some notes in your ISN. So let's get started. The first type of boundary that we were talking about are divergent plates. Divergent means to diverge or to move away from each other. An example of this would be the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is actually two ocean plates that are diverging or moving away from each other. New magma will come out and it cools off to form new rock. The Great Rift Valley is an example of divergent plates, and this is actually two continent plates diverging. And what we have is a rift. So in the ocean, it's known as a Mid-Atlantic Ridge, or it's known as a ridge. And on land, it's known as a rift. Convergent boundaries are when plates converge or come together. So in this plate, we have an ocean plate converging with the continent plate. We also call this a subduction zone. Subduction is when one plate moves under the other. So the ocean plate is going to subduct or move under the continent plate. As it moves down, it is going to be destroyed. It will turn back into magma. On land, this plate is actually building up and creating volcanoes. So at a subduction zone, you are most likely going to be seeing volcanoes. An example of that would be Mount Fuji, and that's where two ocean plates are. The heavier or more dense ocean plate is subducting under the other, and it's forming Mount Fuji. The Andes Mountains in South America is a subduction zone also. An ocean plate is colliding or converging with the continent plate. At this point, we have volcanic mountains, which are the Andes Mountains, and there is also a subduction zone where they meet. Two continent plates can also converge. When two continent plates converge, we have something called folded mountains. The crust basically just folds on top of each other and makes folded mountains. An example of this would be the Himalayan mountains. This is where two continent plates are colliding. This plate is colliding in with this plate and making the folded mountains, which are the Himalayan mountains. Transform boundaries. Transform boundaries are when plates slide past each other, like transformers slide open. Transform boundaries slide past each other. One of the most famous examples is the San Andreas fault line in California. One plate is moving past another. When those plates move past each other, you have a lot of jarring and shaking, which is what we call earthquakes. The San Andreas fault line, basically when you have a transform boundary, the landform that is created is a fault line, which is a crack in the earth. We are now going to work on putting notes into our ISN. Once again, if you are not for sure what page number you're working on, please check eChalk or check your ISN. Go ahead and put the title Plate Tectonics. We are going to be listing the different types of boundaries. We're going to draw in a picture or description and write what type of landforms are created. I am not going to talk about these once again. This is nothing but the PowerPoint that we went through, but now you're putting in the notes and drawing pictures with it. So at this point, if you want to pause the video to complete you can. And I will go ahead and move it up to make sure that you can see our last example. Once you have finished with your notes, you are finished with this assignment. Good job.